This is Uncle Stu, the old man on the block. In this video, we are asking two questions. One, is this generation a lost cause? And two, why is it? Let's hear what these two mothers had to say. Their powerful statements and answers will shock you. Let's get into this video.
I always say it's a lost cause, but every time I say it's a lost cause, I really feel bad about that. But if you have a generation that's unwilling to admit where they were wrong at, and they're steady pushing a mentality onto younger generations, and they're not really being honest about the consequences of their failed relationships, of their broken homes, they're not admitting the consequences, but you have the numbers right in front of you. You have the numbers of what's produced out of single parent homes, primarily single mothers. We have statistics on the education of our children from single parent homes. These things matter, and we can't just write it off the chance like, oh, well, it doesn't mean anything just because this happened in my home didn't mean it's not happening. I really do feel like it's a lost cause, because now you have a culture that is so much greater than a lot of our voices. You have city girl culture, hot boy culture. And when you have a culture like that has permeated everything, I almost think it's a lost cause, because sitting there talking to my children, you try to be a greater influence to your children than outside forces. But if everybody isn't doing that, I don't think there's a lot that we can expect if everybody isn't on one accord with that. I do think there are some people that are, but when you have so many and the way the culture has taken over, nobody wants to hear anything from you if you're older and you're not balling and you ain't got, if you have money, people listen to you then. But if people don't necessarily feel like you have anything to show for, why do they care? They're not gonna care, at least from my experience. But
personally, I believe that number one, as it relates to the generations, I think that first and foremost, it is incumbent upon the generations to take responsibility for, where the generations failed. We have to lead by example. We have to say, this is where we screwed up. If we hope that the generations that lie ahead if we don't want them to make the same mistakes, we have to identify where we made mistakes in order for them to not fall victim and fall prey to the same mistakes that we did, so that they do things differently. We can also outline and identify what we did right. Every generation has done some things right and done some things wrong. To be completely honest, I was seriously concerned about Gen Z, but I'm seeing them do some things right. I'm seeing them do some things that actually make me proud. I'm seeing them do some things that I'm seeing them being critiqued and ridiculed for, that I'm saying they did that better than we did. They are actually standing up and standing proud and standing tall and taking action when we didn't. So every generation does some things right and does some things wrong, some more than others. So it is extremely important for us to pinpoint what we do right and what we do wrong. That's where we need to start, and we need, as elders, need to lead by example, first and foremost. Secondly, I want to say my optimism is waning. I am extremely pro-Black. Like, I love my people. The love that I have for my people, it's inexplicable. Like, literally, I mean, my heart is so big for my people, like it could burst. Every time I see my people hurt, I don't care who it is. I don't care. It could be someone that society described as the ills of our community, that our own people describes as the ills of our community, a drug addict, a druggie, a thief, whatever. My heart, actually goes out to them. I pray for them. I still, have a glimmer of hope that they could be a better person. I still will speak to the higher person within them in hopes that call to them, encourage them to do better, to be better. That's just who I am as a person. However, all that said, as optimistic as I am, I am I'm an optimist. That is how I describe myself. My optimism My optimism is waning, and it's waning because of what I see around me. It's waning because I am led by a king who has been in the struggle. My husband is, he's from the trenches. He has seen it all. He has been conscious since he was 11 years old. He has been in a multitude of conscious, groups and organizations, and some of which are prolific, and he's seen it all. He has been affiliated with Black people. He's seen Black people from some of the ills of society commit some of the most heinous, gruesome, crazy crimes, and he understands that everybody can't go. And he's helped me to understand that and to come to the realization that I can't save everybody, and that trying to save everybody will result in lives of good, hard-working people being lost. And so as a result, I feel that, we as a people will have to learn that we're going to have to separate from those who aren't ready to aptly apply themselves, aren't ready for whatever reason. If they have a diseased mind, if, they have a demon on their back, if they have a monkey that they can't shake, whatever the reasoning is, if they aren't ready, mind, body, and soul, we will have to come to the realization that we will have to separate from them and come from amongst them and, move on without them. We can pray for them. We can hope for them. We can, pour into the community and build programs for them, but everybody can't go. And trying to save everybody is what will hinder us from growing and elevating and, uniting as a community. And, that's kind of been our problem. So that's where I'm at with it.